Barbara Bolick loved the outdoors. She found peace in the wilderness. Moving to Montana had been a dream come true. The Bitterroot Mountains offered endless trails to explore. She was happiest when hiking, surrounded by nature's beauty. Barbara was a friendly face in her community. She was known for her kindness and adventurous spirit. No one could have predicted the mystery that would soon unfold. Barbara was an experienced hiker. She was familiar with the trails around her home. She often hiked alone, confident in her abilities. But on July 18th, 2007, she decided to hike with a friend. Jim Ramaker, an acquaintance from church, offered to join her. They planned to hike to the Bear Creek Overlook, a popular spot with stunning views. It was supposed to be a simple hike, a chance to enjoy the summer day. Little did they know, tragedy awaited. The sun was shining brightly, casting a warm glow over the landscape as Barbara and Jim set off on their much-anticipated hike. They were chatting and having fun, their voices mingling with the sounds of nature. Excitement filled the air as they breathed in the fresh mountain air. The trail was familiar to both of them, a path they had walked many times before. They made good time, their pace steady and comfortable, enjoying each step. As they climbed higher, the trees began to thin, revealing panoramic views. They paused briefly, taking in the sight. Barbara smiled, clearly in her element as they continued their ascent, eager to reach the overlook. The Bear Creek Overlook was a popular spot, known for its stunning views. Hikers often stopped there to rest and admire the scenery. On this particular day, several other groups were scattered around the area, enjoying the beautiful weather and the magnificent views. Barbara and Jim reached the overlook and decided to take a break. They chatted with fellow hikers, sharing stories and enjoying the camaraderie. After a while, Jim decided it was time to head back down the trail. Barbara, however, wanted to stay longer and soak in the beauty of the place. She told Jim she would linger for a bit and then return on her own. Jim nodded, assuming she would be fine, and left her behind. It was the last time anyone saw her. The trail that had once felt so familiar now held a haunting mystery. The path was now witness to Barbara's unexplained disappearance. Jim Ramaker returned to the trailhead. He expected to see Barbara's car. But her car was gone. He waited for a while, assuming she had gone on another short hike. As time passed, he grew increasingly worried. He contacted the authorities to report Barbara missing. The sun began to set, and a sense of urgency gripped the search and rescue teams. They knew that every minute counted, so the search began immediately. Volunteers joined forces with trained professionals. They scoured the area around the Bear Creek Overlook. They called out Barbara's name, hoping for a response. The sound of their voices echoed through the silent mountains. The search continued throughout the night, illuminated by floodlights. But there was no sign of Barbara. As dawn broke, the search area expanded. Teams spread out, covering more ground. They used dogs, helicopters, and all-terrain vehicles. But the mystery deepened. Barbara had vanished without a trace. Sheriff Chris Hoffman took charge of the investigation. He interviewed Jim Ramaker and other hikers who had been in the area. He studied maps, searching for clues. The trail to the Bear Creek Overlook was well marked, so it seemed impossible for someone to get lost. Yet Barbara was gone. The investigation focused on the details surrounding her disappearance. What had she been wearing? What belongings were missing? Had she mentioned any alternate routes? The authorities meticulously examined the area, searching for any sign of a struggle or an accident. They looked for footprints, broken branches, or disturbed earth. But the investigation revealed no obvious answers. The lack of evidence only fueled speculation, and the community was left to grapple with the unknown. What had happened to Barbara Bolick? Unexplained Encounters. As the investigation continued, a chilling detail emerged. 2 young men had been seen on the trail the day Barbara disappeared. Their presence was noted by several hikers. They were described as being in their late teens or early 20s, carrying large backpacks and wearing casual hiking gear. They were acting suspiciously, according to witnesses. Their behavior was erratic, and they seemed to be looking over their shoulders frequently. Their presence on the trail that day added another layer of mystery to the case. The trail was usually bustling with activity, making their odd behavior stand out even more. Were they somehow involved in Barbara's disappearance? The unsettling question lingered. Or was their presence merely a coincidence? The investigators had to consider all possibilities. The trail to the Bear Creek overlook was not particularly remote. It was a well-known spot attracting hikers from all over. It was a popular hiking spot, frequented by people of all ages. Families, solo hikers, and groups of friends all enjoyed its scenic views. But the encounter with the two young men raised unsettling questions. Their presence was an anomaly in an otherwise peaceful setting. Had Barbara encountered them on the trail? The thought was troubling. Had they spoken to her? Witnesses couldn't recall any conversations, but the possibility couldn't be ruled out. Had they seen anything unusual? Their nervous glances suggested they might have. The authorities were eager to identify and question these individuals. They could hold the key to unraveling the mystery. They could hold vital information that could crack the case wide open. Every detail, no matter how small, was crucial. But despite their best efforts, the young men remained unidentified. What happened to Barbara? Theories emerged about what happened to Barbara Bolick. Some believe she fell victim to an unfortunate accident. The rugged terrain could have led to a fatal fall. Others suspect foul play. Could she have encountered someone with sinister intentions? The possibility of an animal attack, though less likely, couldn't be entirely ruled out. The wilderness held its share of dangers. Some even whispered about the possibility of an intentional disappearance. Could Barbara have chosen to vanish and start a new life? The lack of evidence made it impossible to definitively determine what happened. Each theory had its supporters and detractors. The authorities explored every possibility, following every lead. But the truth remained elusive. The mystery of Barbara Bolick's disappearance continued. A community in limbo. After over a decade, the mystery remained unsolved. Barbara Bolick's disappearance left a void in the community. Her friends and family clung to hope, praying for her safe return. What had happened on that fateful day? Where could Barbara be? Would they ever know the truth? The case remained open. The authorities vowed to never give up on finding answers. They continued to receive tips and leads, each one carefully investigated, but the breakthrough they sought eluded them. The Legacy of Loss. Remembering Barbara Bolick. Barbara Bolick's story is a reminder of a mystery that endures. It is a tale of a life cut short, of unanswered questions, and of the power of hope. Though she is gone, she is not forgotten. Thank you for watching. If you like exploring the world's most mysterious disappearances, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for more missing stories like this. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.